Alright, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy Keenan. Welcome to today's second vlog. I made a small mistake yesterday with giving you my top 10 quarterbacks, and I forgot to mention my honorable mentions and my sleeper for the 2012 fantasy football year, and I need to mention them for today's second video. Now I'm going to start with Matt Hasselbeck of the Tennessee Titans. He led his team with 3,500 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. But this year, he's going to be splitting more time with Jake Locker, their first-round draft pick in last season's NFL draft, and they're looking to develop him a little bit more and splitting more time with Matt Hasselbeck. But Hasselbeck had a pretty good year, helped out some fantasy teams out there, and I think he could do well this year, leading the way, helping out Jake Locker. But he is going to be splitting time this year, and that's why I could not put him in my top 20. Also need to talk about Matt Moore of the Miami Dolphins. He helped and surprised a lot of people last year. He had a couple of decent games, especially coming towards the second half of the season, and I think he's a decent quarterback, but he is battling things out with David Garrard and first-round draft choice Ryan Tannehill. It looks like this is going to be more Tannehill's job coming towards the end of the season. But right now, David Garrard is named the starter for right now for the Miami Dolphins on quarterback position. So he's another honorable mention that could be mentioned for today's video. But got a couple of other players to talk about. Ryan Tannehill, I just mentioned, he has a good arm, and he showed a lot of good potential, especially coming his first practices. I saw him in HBO's Hard Knocks, and he had a couple of good throws, and he played well immediately right off the bat. So he's understanding this offense, and I think he's going to do well this season as a rookie. And last but not least, RG3, Robert Griffin III, coming out of the Washington Redskins. Now, I just saw him in this preseason game against the Buffalo Bills. He had a fumble, but he went 6 for 4, and he threw a touchdown pass to Pierre Garçon. It looks like he's going to be that leading target for the Washington Redskins, so I'll look out for him for my top receivers videos. But going back to RG3, he's a big-time dual threat, and I know that a lot of people were concerned about why I did not have him in my top 20. He is still a developmental quarterback, and he is still a little bit more of a project than Andrew Luck. I have Andrew Luck at number 20. But RG3, he is an honorable mention, just barely missing my top 20. He is a great quarterback, especially when he's running the football. He will get some rushing touchdowns, but he's still more of a project than Andrew Luck. Also, most importantly, I'm still skeptical about the offensive line of the Washington Redskins. The question that I have is, will they be able to hold on through and help protect Robert Griffin III? I am not sure. I'm still a little bit questionable about that and still skeptical to see how the offensive line performs this season. And that's going to be the X factor for the Washington Redskins. So because of that, I could not put RG3 as my as one of my top 20 quarterbacks. Now, last but not least, my sleeper for the 2012 year for the quarterbacks. A little bit of a surprise for you guys. Actually, a big surprise. You guys are going to be like, Akeem, huh? What are you talking about? I'm going to talk about Carson Palmer of the Oakland Raiders. Yes, you guys heard correctly. Last year was his first year back. Come on, you guys. You got to give him a break. He still had 2,700 yards passing with 13 touchdowns. And yes, he had 16 interceptions. I know a lot of people are doubting him and do have no faith with Carson Palmer. Don't forget, he did win the Heisman Trophy, and he's still a Pro Bowl quarterback when he was with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think he's going to bounce back this year and develop a good relationship with Denarius Moore and company with Jacoby Ford. I think this is going to be okay for the Oakland Raiders this season. I think they have a chance to compete, especially with Darren McFadden coming back from injuries, their star running back. I think he can lead this team to a couple of good victories, and he is a good, reliable backup quarterback this year. Yes, you guys heard seriously. I do believe in Carson Palmer, and I'm going to have him as my sleeper for this year's NFL season. That's all I have to say. He's a good quarterback. He still has a little bit left in him. I think he's going to be a good, reliable backup quarterback. So you would definitely need to look after him in the later rounds for your drafts this upcoming year. Now that wraps things up with today's videos. As I promised you guys, I'm going to give you part 2 of my top 10 running backs for this year's fantasy football year. Thank you for watching today's vlogs from Franchise Sports Talk. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.